Greetings traders and welcome back to our Forex mentorship program for beginners. Today we are going to be talking about trading sessions. It is important to note that the market runs entirely on time. We often say time before price. And I want to dedicate this video to Mr. Tanko Neville. He asked a question in the mentorship group the other day regarding time. Remember that in our previous video I said it is often believed that the foreign exchange market opens in Wellington, Auckland, Sydney in Australia, then Hong Kong, Tokyo, and the rest. But I said when we go detailing into our mentorship program, I will make you understand that the market actually opens in New York. So we are going to jump straight into our program and I will show you what I am talking about exactly. Now, there are three major trading sessions: Asian session, London session, and New York session. Okay, the New York session is divided into two. We have the AM session, that meaning the market opens in the morning, New York time, and then we have the PM session, New York time. The Asian session opens at 7 p.m. to midnight open, New York time, meaning when it is 7 p.m. in the United States of America, right up to midnight in the United States of America, that is the Asian session. This is what you do. From 7 p.m. to midnight, convert that to your country's time. For example, from 7 p.m. to midnight, New York time, it is midnight to 5 a.m. in London, in the UK. So those who are in the UK, they can look for a setup between this time. If they are in the market between this time, they are trading the Asian session. Those who are in Cameroon, it is 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. So if you are in the market between this time, then you are trading the Asian session. Those who are in the UAE, it is 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. If you are in the market within this time, you are trading the Asian session. Those in Ghana, it is midnight a.m. to 5 a.m. That's the Asian session. Those in Kenya, it is 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. That's the Asian session. I hope you understand. I was able to pick up a few countries. Do not worry. I was not able to do all the countries. I know we have students in Nigeria. We have a student in Uganda, Liberia, Sierra Leone. I'm sorry I was not able to do all, but I will show you a tool that I marked everything there so that you can understand how to convert this time in your own country's time. Now, the London session opens at 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time. When it is 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time, what time is it in your country? In the UAE, it is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can look for a setup here. You'll be trading the London session. Then in Ghana, it is 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can look for a setup here. You'll be trading the London session. In Kenya, it is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. You'll be trading the London session. So if you do not find a setup here in the Asian session, you can find another setup here in the London session, which is 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time. The next session is still the New York time, which is the AM session, the morning session in the United States of America, which is 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. It could still happen between 8:30 to 10 a.m. 8:30 also is very important, but you can look for a setup between 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. New York time. When it is 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., what time is it in your country? In London, it is 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Those who are in London, they can look for a setup within this time. Those who are in Cameroon, it is 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. You can look for a setup here. Those who are in the UAE, it is 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. You can look for a setup. You'll be trading the AM session. Those who are in Ghana, 12 p.m. to 13 p.m., 1 p.m., you can look for a setup. And Kenya, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., you can look for a setup. You'll be trading the AM session, New York time. And then the PM session starts from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. It can also be 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. New York time. Now, what time is it in your country? In Cameroon, it is 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So you can be in the market within this time. UAE, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. You can look for a setup here. In the nutshell, with these trading sessions, how do you use them? It simply means that you don't have to be in the market throughout. Remember, we said one of the mistakes that beginner traders make is they overtrade. We talked about overtrading. Don't be in the market too often because you are going to overtrade. What you are going to do is if you are scheduled, I know that a lot of us here are workers, or we have families, or one or two things you are doing that occupies us, okay? But it's depending on your schedule. If you are not able to find a setup in the Asian session because you were busy or because you were asleep, for example, Cameroon 1 a.m. to 6 a.m., many people are sleeping. You cannot be in the market trading. Now, no problem. Don't trade the Asian session. Wait for the London session. Those who are in Ghana, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., that's a very good time. You can be in the market. You'll be trading the London session. If you do not find a setup here, there is no problem. There's another setup. There's another session for you. The AM session, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. New York time. What time is it in your country? Cameroon, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. You can look for a setup here. So if you do not find a setup in the Asian session, in the London session, you can look for a setup in the AM session, okay? In those who are in the UAE, it's 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. You can look for a setup here in case you didn't find a setup in the two sessions. I hope you understand. And then the rest of the countries. If for the PM session, it's 1:30 to 4:30 p.m. US time, New York time. Those in Cameroon is 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So if you do not find a setup here, and here, you can find a setup here. Ghana, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can find a setup here. You can find a setup. So if you are to trade, look for one session that fits your schedule and then look for a trade setup there. Let us take, for example, let us say you were able to trade the Asian session, for example. Let's say you traded the Asian session and you made profit. Let's say you bought during the Asian session and you made profit. What are you supposed to do next? Don't trade the next session. I'm sorry about this. If you are able to make profit here, let's say you bought here, you bought down here, and then price went in your favor and you made profit in the Asian session, please do not trade the London session again, because there's a possibility that the profit that you make here, you are going to lose it in the London session. Okay? If you made profit if you did not trade the Asian session and you traded the London session, if you made profit here, do not trade the AM session. You may lose it, all your money here, especially when you are still developing. Take only one trade in a single day. Don't take two trades. If you make profit, don't trade again. Now, if you do not make profit here, or if you do not trade the London session, look for a setup in the AM session, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. If you didn't find a setup, no problem. Look for the next session. So you see, you have multiple chances and multiple opportunities in the market. Now, when we talk about risk management, I am going to talk much about this again, okay? I'm going to teach you how you can manage all of these time frames. Let's look at another scenario. In case you took a loss in the Asian session, no problem. Come to the London session and try. If you fail here again, don't trade again. The next two sessions, don't trade, because you have already lost a lot. If you go here and start trading, you may start revenge trading. Remember, we said another mistake beginner traders make is revenge trading, because you want to get your money back, and when you do that, you may lose more money. So stop. If you take 2 losses in a day, stop. Don't trade again. If you make profit, stop. Don't trade again, so that you don't give it back to the market. I hope you understand. Now, what are the pairs that you can trade within these sessions? That's another question. In the Asian session, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, and all the Japanese yen pairs, they are going to do very well. They are going to move a lot. The JPY pairs, the yen pairs, they will move a lot during the Asian session, because these are pairs owned by Asian countries. Japan is in Asia, so their currencies will move very well during that time. So you can trade New Zealand dollar pairs, Australian dollar pairs, and Japanese yen pairs, okay, in the Asian session. In the London session, you can trade the Euro pairs, the GBP pairs, and the US dollar pairs, because they are going to move. For example, Euro USD, GBP USD. In the London session, you can trade these pairs. In the AM session, New York time, you can trade also the GBP, the Euro, and the US dollar. It's going to move. There's volatility in the market. It means there's a lot of moves in the market. If you trade the PM session, GBP, Euro, and USD pairs also, you can trade them, because they are going to move very well in the market. So far, the London session is one of the best sessions many people trade on planet Earth. One of the best sessions. So you can consider trading this session also. So in the nutshell, Shell, Mr. Neville, look for any one of these sessions that fits your schedule. If you are free at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., look for a trade there. Don't trade the next session again. If you are free 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., look for your trade. So this is how you can trade in the market, okay? Don't trade all the times. Look for a particular session that fits you and then look for a setup there. If you make profit, good. Don't trade again. If you take a loss, try the next session. If you take another loss, don't trade again. If you take a loss for the first session, you may try the second session and you make profit. If you make profit, stop. Don't trade again. Let us look at a tool that can help you to understand all of this. I'm going to share the link of this tool in the group, okay? It is called Time Buddy. It's a very wonderful app. You see, it is able to give you 10 different countries and their time zones. But for the mobile version, it can only give you 4 different countries at a time. See, we have New York here, we have London, we have UAE, Abu Dhabi, we have Tokyo, Sydney, Australia, Yaoundé, Cameroon, Mombasa, Kenya, Accra, Ghana, Freetown, Sierra Leone, and then we have Monrovia in Liberia. So if you are in Accra, for example, Ghana, and you want to trade the London session, it starts at 2 a.m. New York time. This is 2 a.m. here, New York time. This is New York, okay? New York time. It starts at 2 a.m. New York time, and it goes right to 5 a.m. New York time. That is the London session. Now you check, you are going to hover with your mouse over this. You check, when you go to 2 a.m., those in Ghana, what time is it in your country? You mark it here. It is 7 a.m., right? And then you go to 5. When it is 5 a.m. in New York, what time is it in your country? You see, you are going to see it here 10 a.m. So you are trading from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's London time. So this tool is very, very useful. If you want to trade the AM session, this is 7 a.m. okay, New York time. From 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. When it is 7 a.m., what time is it in your country? You hover with it and you are going to see it. And then when it's 10 a.m., what time is it in your country? You are going to see it right down here. That is how you can use this tool to know which time you can be in the market and which time you cannot be in the market. But first of all, you need to know the sessions. Okay, Asian session is 7 p.m. to midnight up in New York time. London session is 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time. AM session 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. New York time, and then PM session 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. New York time. When it is this time in the New York, what time is it in your country? That is how you use this information to trade in the foreign exchange market. I hope I was able to answer your question, Mr. Neville, and to all of you also who are still trying to learn. This is how you are going to trade. We call them trading sessions. But for those of you who are going to pay for the smart money concept course, I am going to teach you more about time. What I just taught you now is just the tips, okay? It's just the tip of an iceberg. There is so much to time in smart money concepts that I am going to elaborate on. So please make a way to try to pay for that mentorship. You will learn a lot, okay? I'm sorry about the colors that I used here. Maybe I'm not good at colors, but I was just trying to differentiate everything so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me put this here. You see, the market can move like this. The market is going to move like this in all of these sessions, almost like this. You get it? So imagine that you stepped in here and you found a setup and you sold. If you sold here, let's say you traded the AM session and you sold over here and you make profit. When you make profit, leave. Don't try to trade again in this other session because you may lose money. Okay? If you, let's say you try to sell here and you took a loss, this is London session. It happens, you try to sell and the market stopped you out, you took a loss. No problem, come back again here in the AM session and try. You could be lucky enough and you'll be right. But if you take a loss here and you take another loss here, you are done for the day. Don't trade again. Okay, I hope you understand. All of this is going to happen. You are going to see the market move like this in all of these sessions. You just go in here, from here to here, find a setup. From here to here, Asian session, find a setup. From here to here, London session, find a setup. From here to here, New York session, find a setup. From here to here, New York PM session, find a setup. And there's one last thing. For you to know the time in New York, you are going to come to your trading tool. Click this button down here. You see what I'm showing you? You are going to click down here, this time. If you click on this time, you see this guy is going to appear. When this thing appears, these are different time zones in different countries. For example, this is Santiago. This is Sao Paulo in Brazil. Then you come to New York because you are working on New York time. You toggle on New York UTC -5, UTC -5 or UTC -4. When you toggle on this thing, all your charts will be working on US time, New York time. Okay? Yes. Come down here, click down here, and you toggle on UTC -5 or UTC -4. Everything you do on your chart will be related to the New York time, and you will not have to stress a lot. You just have to know the different times and the different sessions, and then you go into the market, look at which session fits you very well, and then you trade. Thank you so very much again for listening. Goodbye, and we'll meet next time, God willing. Bye bye.